Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Worlds Collide. I'm your host, Mitch.
And I'm Justin.
And today we're going to be talking about Aquaman, the
King of Atlantis.
King of Atlantis, but probably the most underrated, underappreciated superheroes.
They often paint him to be quite the pussy.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Well, let's kind of retcon that and tell everyone why he's more than meets the eye.
All right, well, let's talk about why everybody thinks he's such a lame ass.
That's a good place to start. Let's talk about why they think he could do better.
Yes. So Aquaman, the reason why everybody thinks Aquaman is such a lame superhero is because that's the way he was depicted back in the 1960s during the cartoon, the Super Friends, I think it was called.
I think it was Super Friends, yeah.
And in there, he was like the butt of everybody's joke. Like, sure, he had super strength, but he wasn't as strong as Superman or Wonder Woman. He wasn't as smart as Batman. And the only thing he could do was talk to fish. Even then, like where his strength was in underwater, I was seeing this clip where he got caught up in seaweed. In seaweed.
You're in your element.
Yeah. So, yeah, that cartoon did not help his PR at all.
Super Friends was a funny cartoon.
Yeah.
It was it was like the cartooniest superhero one out there.
Yeah. I think that's what it was meant to be. It was meant to be for children, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're doing it again with a bunch of them, like Teen Titan Go
Yeah.
and stuff like that. They're trying to very kiddie it up. They have, I think there's one with a bunch of female teen superheroes.
Yeah.
In high school or something now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Batgirl and something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the show, but it's like, yeah, DC super high school girls or something. And I'm like, what?
Trying to sell more toys.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. It's where it started. Like, look at He-Man, right?
Yeah.
The whole fucking franchise started off toys.
Yeah. Transformers.
Mm-hmm. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
So, back to Aquaman.
Yeah. So Aquaman has gone through a lot of origins and a lot of rewrites and reimaginings to try to come back from that bad persona that he had, that bad reputation that he had.
Make him a little more macho, make him kind of, stand out a bit more.
Exactly. So originally, Aquaman started in 1941. One second here. I think it was 1941, which, by the way, was 2 years after Namor's first creation. So
Marvel.
Namor was actually created before Aquaman.
Go figure. It goes right back to the whole DC Marvel
Competition.
Race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1941 is Aquaman's first inception. But back then, he wasn't Arthur Curry, the half-human, half-Atlantean hybrid. Back then, he was just a normal human scientist. His father was a scientist, a marine biologist who wound up somehow in Atlantis. Or no, he built himself a underwater city. And in there, he, through science, was able to figure out a way to be able to breathe and speak underwater and to communicate with fish. So Aquaman was born in this city that was created by his father. So Aquaman, being pure human, was able to breathe underwater and speak to fish. So that was his first creation back in 1941.
That's pretty different than everything we've seen so far.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
that's way off.
In the 1950s, around 1954 is where they rebooted him. This was during the Silver Age of comics, and that's where the Arthur Curry that we know was born.
Mm-hmm.
Where his father met Atla. One second here.
She got a funny name.
Yeah.
Now, is he a lighthouse keeper?
Atlanta. Yes.
So, lighthouse keeper, of course,
Yes.
draws in that signal.
Yeah.
And she goes to say, hey, what's that like? And
Pretty
then,
much.
ooh, falls in love.
Yeah.
Long enough to make a baby.
Yes. Yes.
One night later.
Yeah. So, the lightkeeper fell in love with Atlanta, the queen of Atlantis. They have a baby, and then she ends up having to go back to Atlantis because she's the queen, and to protect.
So is she gone for term?
Yes.
Okay, so she goes MIA from Atlantis, and they're probably sending out search parties for like a year, being like, where the hell did the queen go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so finally they find her, and now she has to go back to Atlantis, and she leaves Arthur behind.
Yeah.
And
You're raising well?
Yeah. Yeah, so he was raised as a human, but he learned at a very young age he had abilities.
Living right there on the water, he's probably, talking to fish at an early age.
Yeah, like his father at one time thought he had drowned, but turns out he was just hanging out in the water, hanging out with the fish. So there's one thing that DC has been doing a lot of for Aquaman, that they've been correcting a misconception about Aquaman, and everybody says, but Aquaman's lame. All he does is he talks to fish, and that will actually, in recent comics, that would actually piss him off, because no, he does not talk to fish. Fish don't have the intelligence to be able to have a conversation. So what Aquaman does is that it's more telepathy, mind control. He opposes his will on the fish. He controls the fish do his bidding.
But he does not talk. There's no asking.
No, that's right.
It is pure dictatorship of fish.
That's right. Which was a minor inconsistency in the movie. I was rewatching the movie today, and
You kind of talk to them.
Yeah, there's a flashback where Arthur is still a child. He's in that aquarium, and he's introducing himself to the fish. He says, "My name is Arthur," and "What's your name?" And then all the kids start making fun of him for talking to the fish and whatnot.
I think being in the movie, they wanted to play it off that he wasn't sure what he could do yet.
Yeah.
So I think that communication's kind of like, oh, I don't know, I have mind control over you. I thought I had to say hello.
Yeah. So that origin that we all know about Aquaman came from the 1950s.
Okay. And then in recent comics, like what's going on?
All right. So after that, after Crisis on Infinite Earth back in 1984.
Did we see that one in like the Flash and Arrow and Supergirl crossover? Was there an Infinite Earth?
There was, but
I thought there was.
Yeah,
it was different.
It's very different.
Yeah, okay.
Very different. But that was so. I probably mentioned this in past episodes, talking about DC. There's two periods in DC Comics. You have post-crisis, you have pre-crisis and post-crisis.
Because they essentially reset the timeline.
After Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yes.
So post-crisis, Aquaman's origin got changed again. So Aquaman's origin in here, he finds out that he's not half human. His father that raised him was not his biological father. That Atlanta, the queen of Atlantis, got impregnated by a centuries-old wizard named Atla, and he was named Orin. So
who Aquaman was?
Aquaman's name was Orin.
Oh, because in the movie they have Orin being his...
No, Orm is his half brother.
Oh.
Orin is his name.
Okay, so Orin, what's the last name? Is there a last name?
They've never specified.
Okay. So Atlanta and Atla.
Yes.
Where did this wizard come from?
Who knows? Who knows?
Later days.
Yeah. One thing I have to tell to the audience: I've never read an Aquaman comic, and just talking about how he was treated back in the 1960s, the misconception everybody's had about him, his power being able to talk to fish, and being like the weakest member of the Justice League, and very, very lame character, and so there was no appeal to read Aquaman. Even I was suckered in thinking that Aquaman was a lame character. Everybody was. That's why he didn't have a lot of sales. Now, he did have a fan base, and that fan base was very, very strong, but for the larger populace, Aquaman was just a lame superhero. Nobody wanted to read Aquaman.
And with that said, it's kind of surprising that he made it this far.
Yeah.
When so many haven't.
Yeah.
Like Shazam, I think is a way cooler character.
Yeah.
Right? But he got fucking buried up for so many years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's had a series, got canceled, another series gets canceled, another series get canceled. Aquaman's kind of gone through the same thing. He's had
always
series.
been part of the A-Team in the sense that...
Yes, well, he's a founding member of Justice League. Like, the original members of the Justice League from the Silver Age was Flash, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Green Lantern.
I see. Okay, so they had to just keep him around just because he started the fan club.
Exactly. It'd be like kicking out Thor.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was in the 1980s is where he got that origin.
Through Infinite Crisis. Well, prior to it. Was that prior, or
after.
was that was after?
After. So after Infinite Crisis.
Timeline reset. He's now Orin.
Yes.
No longer Arthur Curry.
That's right.
And he's apparently got a wizard for a daddy.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Does he ever meet his wizard dad?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does, because this wizard apparently was centuries old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was his origin up until 2012.
Oh shit! So they just recently rewrote him again. In the last 7 years here.
Yeah, at New 52. So after Flashpoint. So after Flashpoint,
Flash resets the timeline again, doesn't he?
Exactly. So
you got to stop it.
Exactly. So in 2011, in New 52, that's when they brought back the idea that he's Arthur Curry raised, the half-breed, half-Atlantean, half-human.
Oh man, so it was like a good 30-something years that he's been the other story.
Yeah.
Orin. He's been Orin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why some people might have this confused. Some people think that Orin was his original origin, and some people think that half-breed was his original origin. And
it's hard to know when they keep changing it all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So after they change it in the New 52, he's back to Arthur Curry, and then what?
So now it's the current runs of Aquaman, and apparently in the New 52, in Rebirth actually, the Aquaman stories have been some of the best. So Aquaman's finally getting his due. I was watching this video where this guy was talking over a story where Aquaman gets faced off against Black Manta, and Black Manta is his most reoccurring villain.
That's what we see in
the
first movie.
Yeah. So Aquaman spanks him, and Black Manta ends up getting captured or taken in by this secret organization called Nemo, which starts this other secondary story. But the main plot is there was an attack that made it look like it was the Atlanteans attacking the surface. And since Aquaman is the king of Atlanta, of the Atlanteans, he was held accountable. Even though he wasn't responsible for this attack, he is the king, so he was held accountable for it and got arrested. And so there's big hoopla back and forth where like Aquaman could easily break out, but he doesn't want to because he's trying to keep peace between the surface and the Atlanteans. But there are certain things that are in motion that is forcing the humans and the Atlanteans to go into conflict, to go into war. It's all being orchestrated by Ocean Master, his half-brother.
Ocean Master?
Yeah. Yeah, Orm? Yeah. Yeah, Orm is known as the Ocean Master.
Why?
Because we even say it in the movie. When he gets control of the Seven Kingdoms, he becomes the Ocean Master. He becomes the ruler of the Seven Seas. So he just takes on the moniker Ocean Master in the comics.
I see. Okay, and they follow that story fairly well in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, with him getting Manta to even attack their council underwater, and first getting the Atlanteans to all think, hey, the surface is against us.
Yeah.
And then they respond back by Manta attacking the surface in return. And
well, what happens in this is there is this sunken ship, and the human sends a group of people to go investigate, but they're all armed. But they're all there to investigate, and when they get there, they see the Atlanteans all circling around this ship, and the Atlanteans think that the humans are coming to attack. The humans think the Atlanteans are there to attack, and it goes into a battle.
Yeah.
And so while this is happening, so Mera goes and saves Aquaman. The only way that they're going to be able to prevent this war is for Aquaman to break out of jail and go stop this war. So he, as they're breaking out, they get surrounded by all these soldiers, and Aquaman could easily wipe the floor, especially Aquaman with Mera.
Mera is the female, his wife.
Yes, the one that could control water.
Right.
Both of them combined could easily kill all the humans. Like, there's a big army, and they could easily kill them all, but they won't because they're trying to keep peace.
Yeah.
So, but the president of the United States knows that they can't stop Aquaman either. So he sends in Superman. So Superman goes and faces off against Aquaman, saying that you got to stand down. To be a citizen of the United States, you need to follow its laws, and you need to go back into jail. And they end up going into blows. And so here's a testament to how much of a badass Aquaman is. Aquaman goes toe-to-toe with Superman. So whenever you think that Aquaman isn't as powerful, well, Superman would have won. But the fact that he could actually go toe-to-toe with Superman...
You could go a few rounds.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, that's like your buddy's drunk and someone's got to settle him down now versus the other guy who's trying to knock him out.
Yeah.
That's kind of the scenario I feel like was going on there. Aquaman being like, listen, I'm trying to do the right thing. Superman being like, I understand, but...
You need to follow the law.
But, yeah. And so it's kind of like, I feel Superman was probably hitting him with gloves on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he's still a founding member of the Justice League. So is Buddy.
Well,
he's just not listening right now. It's like, dude.
But I was just saying, and Aquaman has had inferiority complex before. Like, during this fight, he's saying that, what does it matter what happened? And what does it matter if I go back to Atlantis and never come back? I've never been an important member of the Justice League. It's not like you guys ever cared that I was part of the Justice League. It's not like I've contributed anything to the Justice League. And Superman's like, you're wrong. You're just as much of an important member of the Justice League as anybody else.
Okay, so yeah, even as he's fighting him, boom, boom, no, like, we want you. Like, no, you don't. So he's throwing a tantrum.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyways, it ends up Superman lets Aquaman go. Aquaman goes and stops the war from happening, and yada, yada, yada.
And, yeah, Ocean Master gets his.
Yeah. So that's one of the stories that happened during Rebirth.
Okay. Now, with his outfit, has he always been like this? Because I remember seeing in some of the recent ones, he's got the long blonde hair. He's got like a hook arm.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
What's going on with that shit?
All right. Let's talk about that. In the 1990s, they were really trying to make him more of a badass.
Yeah.
So this Jason Momoa Aquaman is more based on the 90s Aquaman, where they're trying to make him more badass, and just not blonde, but made him more of a badass. The long hair, the long beard. There was one of his enemies. His name is Charybdis. It's named after
Charybdis.
Yeah, it's named after a. Not Roman, but Greek mythology.
Okay.
Some creature of the deep.
Some deep, dark fucking monster you don't want to run into.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is a villain that has that moniker. Apparently he had the ability to stop Aquaman's ability to control fish, and forced Aquaman's hand into a pool of piranhas, and the piranhas ate his hand off.
No.
Yeah. So after he
That's
lost,
so fitting.
Yeah. So after he lost his hand, he put
it's like a harpoon.
A harpoon on his left hand.
Does it shoot?
Well, the second version. So the first version only had a harpoon. Yeah, that ended up getting broken. So then he goes to Star Labs, and Star Labs builds him a new harpoon. This one here, he could actually shoot out, and it has like a chain attached to it, so he can control it, shoot it, control it, pull it back in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then eventually that got broken. And then with another company, or this was Atlantean. Anyways, so, somebody helps them creating a new hand. This one's more magical. And this one where he was actually able to reshape with water and whatnot. So he's like a mystical hand. He can form into whatever he wants.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love it that his hand got eaten by piranhas.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So
So
king of the ocean now, huh?
yeah.
It's my hand.
Yeah.
No.
Obviously, all of that got retconned when he got the.
Yeah, he got his hand back.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that happened in the '90s and into the 2000s and whatnot.
Because I was always like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he grew his hair out. Now he looks like a different guy completely.
Yeah.
And where'd the hand go?
Yeah. In piranha stomachs.
Exactly, yeah. It was always kind of like, I'm missing something. Where did he... okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Good old Cherubid.
Yeah.
Charybdis.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's pretty much all the research I've done on Aquaman. Like his
Bringing
origin.
up his fucking comic history from
Yeah.
Silver Age. Right?
From Golden Age,
Age
Silver
and
Age,
Silver.
to the modern era,
Right.
to post-crisis, to New 52, to Rebirth.
Okay. So, with all that being said, what do you think about his role in Super Friends and in Justice League? Because that's kind of where it all started.
Yeah, so, well, Super Friends, it was like, they make fun of him so bad and so good.
What are some of the big jokes?
Well, I mean, like, you ever watch Robot Chicken?
Yes.
They made fun of him really good in Robot Chicken. And it's just a good jab at the Super Friends. And a good example, just like I said, he was underwater, got caught in seaweed.
That's pretty bad. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Help me, Superman.
Yeah, pretty much. So...
Like, how are you too weak? Like, he's got super strength.
Yeah, it's because the writers, the animators didn't know what Aquaman was capable of either.
He's one of those guys who's like, yeah, we got a fast guy, we got a flying guy, we got an Amazon girl, we got a guy with a ring. What about someone who can swim? Brilliant.
Yeah.
What else can you do? We'll get to that. So in Justice League, he kind of pulled his pants up a bit.
Yes.
Started to get recognized more.
Yes.
What is like a memorable event of Aquaman? And it doesn't have to be solo.
I can't think of anything. Because like I said, I've never read much Aquaman, and he was never featured in a lot of the stories that I've read.
Of the Justice League and
Yeah.
of the group events?
Yeah, not really. But there is one event that comes to mind that I'm going to talk more about it when I talk about the Flash, but in Flashpoint. In Flashpoint, the world goes to shit. And it's all because Aquaman flooded Europe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was this against the Wakanda thing?
No,
Or that's Namor?
Yeah, that's
Oh, sorry. Different universe.
different universe. But yeah, so, events happen in the Flash where Aquaman loses his shit and he floods all of Europe.
Just killing everyone.
Yeah. I'll talk more about it when we talk about the Flash. There's more to it
So
than that.
many questions.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I could talk about it a little bit.
Because we're going to have enough other Flash to cover.
Yes. So, in Flashpoint, Aquaman and Wonder Woman end up having an affair, and then Mara finds out about this, attacks Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman kills Mara.
Oh.
And now Aquaman declares war against Themyscira and Wonder Woman. During this war is where he flooded all of Europe.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, like, he got a little side action.
Yeah.
Side action killed his main piece.
Yeah.
Now he has no girls.
Yeah.
And he's at war against the world.
Yeah.
You fucked up Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what are some fallouts that happen there, or is the timeline reset?
Oh, the timeline's reset at that.
Before Fallout
Yeah.
can
So,
occur before Superman comes and cuts his head off.
well, no, Superman is not even a factor during Flashpoint.
Oh.
I think in Flashpoint, Superman was never found by the kids. He was found by the military and kept and kept in prison, kept away from the sun. So Superman's not even a factor. There is no Superman in Flashpoint.
Really?
Oh yeah. Batman.
I remember seeing that in one of the Justice League cartoons.
Yeah.
That it was like an alternate reality where, like, since he landed, he'd been fucking hidden from the sun.
That was Flashpoint Paradox.
Oh, that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what happened in Flashpoint? Flashpoint was when he created a separate timeline?
That's right. When he
by
goes
going
back in time.
to Earth 2 or something?
No, he goes back in time to stop his mom from being killed
dying
by
and splits
Reverse
the...
Flash. Because his mom never dies, he never becomes the Flash, and all these events happen.
Right. And then how do they reset that?
By stopping himself from stopping his mom from getting killed by Reverse Flash.
And when he has to stop that, he's not even the Flash, is he?
No, he becomes the Flash again. Well, like I said, we're
we'll get
getting
there
too deep.
later.
We're getting too deep into Flashpoint.
This is what Flash does.
Yeah.
It sucks you in.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the character.
I know, Flash is great. Okay,
So let's talk about his powers.
That's really a good thing to start with
Yeah.
at this point. We've already said mind control over fish.
Yes, but it's more than that.
Tell.
Yeah.
Tell.
So his telepathy isn't just towards fish. He could actually use it on humans too. It's very limited. The most he could do is cause migraines or he could even cause a seizure.
So it's more he gives you a headache, he clouds your thoughts, kind of confuses. It's like a confusion.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah.
Jams up your signals.
Exactly. So limited telepathy.
That would work well against anyone with mind control, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Ideally. Except for their mind control is probably far
Stronger than his. Yeah.
He's got what? Super strength?
So super strength. He's strong enough to let me see, I wrote down all his powers. So he's strong enough to push an oceanic plate. So
Like moving the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
With thousands of tons of water on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
basically opening a fissure in the ground.
pretty much. Super eyesight because he needs to be able to see in the deep waters. He's tough enough to withstand the ocean depths.
For pressure and whatnot.
Yeah, which makes him bulletproof. And like I said, he could go toe to toe with Superman, so he could take like strong shots. He's fast enough to keep up with Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because she's quick.
Yeah.
Not as fast as Flash or Superman. But
no, but she's still fast.
Still very fast.
And Aquaman is fast enough to go toe to toe with Wonder Woman.
Okay, so he's quick and faster swimmer than all of them, probably.
Yes. Yeah. Underwater, he's faster than Superman.
Well, yeah. Flash doesn't really have to go underwater.
No.
Kind of just runs right through it.
Yeah. He has access to the clear. The clear is kind of like the Force. It's just a primal energy. Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy, they have access to the green, which gives them control over plants. Aquaman's ability to control the fish is from the clear.
Control through
the
water.
Through mind control and whatnot, but what gives him that power is the clear. And the clear, it's more than just control. Whatever creature he controls with the clear, he also enhances their strength. Like strong enough where there's been issues where he's controlling fish and the fish are strong enough to break a Green Lantern construct.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they gotta be strong to do that. Because that thing's like pure energy. Like,
and force of will.
It's as strong as his will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those were his natural powers. And then he's got his tridents. He's had 2 tridents.
Oh, and each one gives him a different set of powers?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So he's had the trident of Neptune and the trident of Poseidon. The reason why they switched it over to the trident of Poseidon is because Namor has the trident of Neptune. So rather than cause conflict, they changed it over to a different trident, the trident Poseidon.
Okay.
So they've had different powers, though. There is a difference between the two.
Between the 2 separate tridents.
Yes.
Now, who had the trident of Neptune first? Namor?
Probably. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah. But the Scepter of Neptune gave him hydrokinesis, ability to control water.
I read that somewhere that he had that, but it was only like granted to him, so that's how it was granted.
Yeah, through the Trident.
The Trident of Neptune.
Yeah. Weather control, so
Right.
like storm. He can project lightning blasts, transmutation.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, and invisibility.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
An invisible Aquaman?
yeah. So that was the Trident of Neptune. The Trident of Poseidon, on the other hand, gives him hydrokinesis.
Yeah.
It gives him the ability to create fogs.
Okay.
Allows him to create force fields.
That's pretty cool.
Allows him to conjure ice. Also allows him to control the weather. Gives him aquatic teleportation, so as long as he's in water, he can teleport from one point to another. Grants him flight. Allows him to create water elementals.
Wow, that second Trident's way better.
Yeah, yeah,
You can fly
yeah, and create an army of elementals
and just
and teleport.
teleport. Teleport.
Yeah,
Can't catch me.
yeah. So, so he's got a lot more powers than just super strength and speed.
Yeah, well, those are his innate ability, right?
Yeah.
And I guess anyone gets that when they hold the Trident.
Only a true king is able to.
Call upon his power?
Yeah.
So his brother can,
Yeah.
and he can.
Yeah.
But if someone else grabs up his Trident,
Yeah.
fizzle.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's also got a weakness, which is he needs to be near water. This
If
has
he dries
been,
out.
Yes. This has been. Fluctuated from over the years. Sometimes it's as severe as he needs to be near water within an hour. Like he needs to be in contact with water. If he goes without contact of water for an hour, then he could die. But I personally think that makes no sense because he grew up on the surface. It's not like he grew up in Atlanta. So I never thought that made sense, and I think a lot of writers didn't think it made sense, which is why sometimes he doesn't have that weakness, sometimes he does. It's very inconsistent.
His water intake must be like 10 liters a day.
Yeah. So that's the list of that. Notable allies are Mara, his wife,
Right.
who is a complete fucking badass.
Well, you said she has control of the water. That
Yeah.
alone is like enough to fuck you up. You're fighting, like even against Aquaman, she probably win because he's fighting her in water and she just throws him in tornadoes.
Yeah, like she's like if anybody watches Avatar: The Last Airbender, she's a waterbender. She's a water wizard.
Yeah.
Anything that you've seen people do in as a waterbender, like Katara and all that, she can do.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, going back to his weakness, he has circumvented his weakness by using blood. Just by using blood, gets rid of that, allows him to keep going, gives him that moisture that he needs to be able to survive.
Whose blood?
His enemy's blood.
Nice.
Yeah.
The blood of my enemies will sustain my thirst.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You got Topo the octopus, which you saw briefly in the movie. In the movie, you saw this octopus playing the drums. That was Topo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in
remember
Super
that.
Friends.
He was in Super Friends too?
Yeah. Topo would like play like happy birthday music and whatnot. Yeah. That was his best friend, the octopus.
That's jokes.
Yeah. You have Aqualad, which has been
course.
there's been two different Aqualads.
The one that we see in Young Justice
is a
the
more recent
second
one. Yeah. Calderon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the second one, and the first one was Garth.
Oh, who's Garth?
Well, you see him in Young Justice as well. So you know, when he goes back to Atlanta and he goes to find Tula, and Tula is training with Garth.
Yes.
So Garth was the actual first Aqualad.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the comics, Tula and Garth are a couple, and Tula is actually Aquagirl. She becomes Aquagirl.
Ah, okay. And what are the differences between the two Aqualads?
Well, Garth didn't have the powers that Calderon has.
He has a lot.
Yeah. Well, he has pretty much the same powers as
Aquaman.
not Aquaman, but Mara.
Mara.
Yeah. Not to her extent. Like, she's way
he,
more
like,
powerful.
Yeah, he's like a waterbender, right?
Yeah.
He essentially has like empty swords.
Yeah.
And they fill with water.
Yeah, he could do almost anything with it. He's not as powerful as Mara, but similar power set.
I like him. He was a good feature to Young Justice.
I like him quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's quite. I like him more than Aquaman. He's a complete fucking badass.
Yeah, he's a good leader too.
Yeah.
That was kind of his role, I felt, on the team.
Yeah. He's a more mature member of the team.
Yeah, because Aquaman can be childish.
Yeah.
I find, like, you said it before. It plays into his inferiority complex, but it's kind of like he crumbles.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah. Which is why, like, I didn't like Aquaman in the Justice League movie.
As Momoa?
Yeah, I didn't like Momoa as Aquaman in the Justice League movie. I liked him much more in the solo movie. But I hated him. I didn't like him at the beginning of the movie. Because at the beginning of the movie, he's very much like he is in Justice League.
Yeah.
Which is, he's got that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
The silent, grumpy, gruff loner type. And then as the movie progresses, he starts opening up. He starts having more fun. To me, that's Aquaman. Not that Aquaman's a goofy-go-lucky. There are like other characters that has that role. He's not like the comedian of the group, but he's a little bit more lighthearted than the way he was depicted as well. He doesn't have that.
He's
big
not
chip on his
Batman.
shoulder.
My parents died and now he's dark. He's not. My planet blew up dark.
Exactly. And he didn't grow up.
I just don't know my parents, and I have control of the sea. So fair trade.
Exactly.
Like,
he's been forced to rule an entire kingdom, but he didn't grow up in that kingdom. It's not like he grew up among royalty. It's not like he grew up being taught how to be royal. He grew up like one of us.
He's the prince and the pauper, but he's both.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he grew up pauper, but he's supposed to be prince.
Yeah.
And it's so he kind of knows both worlds.
Yeah.
But he's resistant to one because it's like, well, you have to do this. Well, I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
So he's gonna slowly adapt to it.
Yeah.
And that was how I felt the movie took place. But you're right. I felt that same sense of it starting out with him being this he's trying too hard to be macho. He's trying too hard to be this bravado character. He's trying way too hard to be like, I'm a loner, I'm an outcast. And it's like, yeah, I get it. You are, but you aren't.
Yeah, why do you have this chip on your shoulder?
You're only an outcast. Yeah, because you grew up on land away from your true home.
Yeah.
But as soon as you went home, bro, they made you king, so shut up.
Yeah.
Stop acting like a baby.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Right? So I think they did better.
Yeah.
Black Manta was kind of like, eh.
I liked him quite a bit, actually.
Is he just a human?
Yes.
And he's just got what, Atlantis tech?
Yeah.
And that's what makes him bad guy.
Yeah.
And he just got a hard on for fucking up Aquaman's day.
Yeah, they did his origin pretty well in the movie. That is his origin. Aquaman killed his father. Wow. During that comic I was talking about, when him and Black Manta are fighting, Aquaman tells him, like, you're wasting your life. You're wasting your skills. You are a talented man. You go toe-to-toe with me on a consistent basis. You're a master of subterfuge, your stealth abilities, your mind, your tactics. And yet you wasted trying to get revenge on me all these years. Listen, I get it. I apologize for killing your father. I know how it is, how it feels. I miss my father. So I can just imagine how you feel. I regret what I've done. I was young and stupid. But please, get over it and use your skills and powers for better uses. Once you kill me, what do you got? You got nothing.
Yeah. Your life's over then. Like, you've spent your whole life trying to do this, and now what?
And then what?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
He said sorry. Like, I was young, dumb. I didn't fucking...
He admits what he did.
Yeah, like I realized what I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Manta's like, no.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so overall, what are our expectations for Aquaman 2? Do we know the release date yet on that one? Is it next year?
Probably next year.
I think it's next year, 21.
Yeah. They haven't talked much about it, so I really don't have any expectations.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've never read much Aquaman, so his two main villains were both in the first movie, which was
Ocean Master's brother, right?
Yeah.
Orm.
And Black Manta.
Yeah.
The only two other villains that they didn't showcase was
maybe they'll let him lose his hand.
Maybe. And there's also the I'm pretty sure autocorrect. Fuck that name. I'm pretty sure it's not Noble. But the King of the Lurkers is an...
And we saw the Lurkers. They're the, like, demon frog fucking deep people, right? Like, when he had to, at one point, go into the depths of the trench.
Right. That's right.
That...
Oh, wait. No, that's one name. Charybdis Noble, King of the Lurkers. So, Charybdis is the King of the Lurkers.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And that's who takes his hand.
That's right. So there are talks about making a movie about the Lurkers, about the what was
the trench?
The trench. Yeah. They're making a movie about the trench, which is going to be like a horror film themed movie.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know exactly
how it's going to be in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know exactly what they're going to do with that movie, but that's what I've heard.
That'll be... Oh, so literally we did see all his main villains in Aquaman 1.
Yeah.
We just didn't maybe see Charybdis Noble.
That's
we saw the Lurkers.
Yeah.
But just not the one.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I think that would be a good direction for them to put movie 2.
Yeah.
Since they've now introed them.
Yeah.
They can now give them a reason to come back at him. Because he basically came in, took their shit, and left, didn't he? What was it that he went to get? Didn't he get the Trident? Or the Trident?
Yeah.
That's where it was. He had to go to the trench, get the Trident.
That's right.
Hauled ass, get the
Found
fuck
his
out of
mom.
Found his mom.
Yeah. Which I don't think happened in the comic. I'm pretty sure she's dead in it.
Yeah, that was probably a movie added.
Yeah. Oh, and Volko is also one of his closest advisors. He's always been traditionally his best friend. His
okay.
Closest advisor. The one that was Willem Dafoe?
Yes.
Yeah. So
he died at one point in the movie, didn't he?
I'm trying to remember. I think I've only seen it once. I was rewatching it today. I only got to the part where he found his mom.
I see. Okay, yeah, I gotta rewatch it again. It was good though. I liked Aquaman.
Yeah,
it was good between Wonder Woman and Aquaman. They're doing well.
Yeah,
they're making a comeback.
Although, just like most of DC's content, their animated movies are better, and the movie Justice League: Throne of Atlantis is a better Aquaman movie. I like the Jason Momoa movie. I've been a fan of Jason Momoa since I was introduced to Stargate Atlantis. He was he was a cast member of Stargate Atlantis from almost the beginning. I think he got introduced in season 2 and then all the way to the end. I
watched Stargate. I cannot remember him.
Did you watch Stargate Atlantis? Stargate Atlantis is different.
Not as much, actually. No, SG-1.
Okay, yeah. I didn't watch SG-1, but I watched Stargate Atlantis and I love Stargate Atlantis.
Okay, that makes sense. So he's been an Atlantean from the beginning.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. So he's meant for the role.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Aquaman, I guess. Founding member of the Justice League from way back, Golden Age, Silver Age, into present.
Yeah.
Had a few rewrites through Infinite Crisis and Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Paradox, and now we got Momoa.
Yep.
Not bad.
Yep.
He's climbed. He's been on the up.
Yeah.
That's what we can say about this character. At least he hasn't been zigzagging too much. I'd say he's been on the up and up.
Yeah.
Starting low and just building steam.
Yeah. And the point of this video is just to give some love to the character and to show the audience out there who might still have thought he was a lame character. There's more to him than meets the eye.
Put it this way. If you put him against pretty much any thug or villain, he's still going to win.
Yeah. Well, not Darkseid.
There's a 10%. There's a 10% that's a no-go zone.
Yeah.
Okay? It's kind of like the unicorn in the Crazy Hot Girlfriend thing.
Yeah.
It's small.
One thing I forgot to mention, I didn't write this in his powers because it's not like a featured power, but he does have limited regeneration as well.
That's one of the ones I did read. It's not always, though.
I'm pretty sure it's just when he's near water.
Yeah.
Pretty much, Aquaman is unbeatable when he's in water.
Yeah, because he'll heal, right? Faster senses, he has more control, he's faster.
Yeah.
He's pretty much got the edge.
Yeah.
Outside of water is a different story.
Yeah.
But
he's still no joke.
No. Well, that's why between them all, right? Like, Superman guards space. Wonder Woman technically guards...
Green Lantern guards space.
The universe.
Yeah.
The universe. He guards the universe.
Well, not he. They
guard
the universe.
Superman kind of covers planet, right?
The planet.
The planet.
Yes.
Wonder Woman kind of covers the air, right? Like prior to breaching, she kind of is that low rider. Hey, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
And then you got Batman, who's your street dude.
Yeah, and Flash.
And the Flash, who's your foot patrol.
And Arrow.
Yeah, so they have a few guys who follow that same role, but they need more foot patrol.
Yes.
Because, right?
They're not as powerful.
Yeah. And then they got Aquaman to patrol the coast.
Yeah.
So they broke it down that we got good coverage everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because there's a fuckload of water.
Yep.
On Earth.
When you think about it, he rolls the 7 seas. He rolls.
Yes.
He rolls all the oceans.
Technically, he is the most powerful in the more places.
Well, yeah, he owns the majority of Earth.
Yes.
75% of Earth is water.
Take it into that context. He's not that weak. All right. So I think that's all we got to say about Aquaman this week. Who did we decide we're going to do next week?
Did we decide? I know we came up with a list of people.
We got a list, so we're going to post that list later this week. And stay tuned for next week's episode of Worlds Collide, Saturday at 8 p.m. You can see us there on Twitch TV /NRD Forge.
Cheers, guys.
Have a good night.